Yeah, you're not like gung-ho planner.
Yeah,
You're just like comes out when you need it.
I'm not like Kimmy. I'm kidding.
Okay, you know, it's because most of my friends aren't at my level, so
no one is at your level.
there's
Hi, welcome to Adulthood Pending Podcast. I'm Annalise.
I'm Brittany.
And I'm Kimmy.
We're a podcast for college students, recent graduates, or anyone else also figuring out that being an adult isn't as simple as it's made out to be. Join us each episode as we share how we're navigating our careers, posting our lives, and the whole adulting experience.
So this is officially our last episode of season 2, which is so wild. And we just thought it'd be really fun to have an episode dedicated to getting to know us a little more, since, you know, we have our fun questions here and there, but we've gone through 16 episodes, or I don't know, 17 episodes. 17.
This is the 17th. This is the 17th.
Oh, okay. So we've gone through 16 episodes, so we think it'd be fun, you know, for you all to get to know us a little more who don't know us already. So that's what this episode is for. So thank you all for those of you who submitted questions to our Instagram. And maybe if you didn't see it or get the chance, we'll do another one in the future. So you could get your questions answered for us.
So we divided the questions, and, you know, to kind of kick things off, we're just going to get into some random fun questions, like Brittany said, to get to know all of us a little bit better. So the first one is, what is your ideal perfect day? Mine's April 25th. Did you get that joke? It's from, I think it's like Miss Congeniality. There's like a pageant, and they're like, describe, or like, what's your perfect date? And then she goes, my perfect date is April 25th.
Oh my gosh, that reference.
I do like that movie.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. My ideal perfect day is in the morning doing something like outdoors or athletic, because I enjoy doing stuff like that. So maybe going for a hike or going for a run, and then getting a acai bowl or smoothie afterwards. So good. And then probably just like spending more time outside or going shopping or going to a good restaurant or something. Yeah, I feel like it's like a good combination of like chill and, I don't know, doing things alone. I mean, like, I guess I'm interpreting this question as like no one else is there.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
but if people were there, like, of course I would love to see my friends and stuff and do things with them.
Oh, I'm interpreting it as like just in general. What's
same? I did as well.
Kimmy, do you want to just redo that
all
answer?
by myself?
Okay, I guess if I was gonna add friends into the mix, my friends would just like be there as well, like going on the hike with me, getting acai bowls with me, and then
okay. They would fit into your already perfect day that you had planned for yourself. Okay.
Yeah, because I feel like they wouldn't be that different.
Yeah, I feel like for me, there's like 2 perfect days, but one of them would be just like me relaxing and like doing whatever by myself. So that's kind of boring. So if I were to actually do something, I think it'd be, similar to Kimmy. I'd start with maybe like going to a workout class or like taking my dog on a walk and having like the morning to myself, and then maybe going to lunch with friends and then doing an activity like shopping or going to a museum or I don't know. I really also like running errands. Like I really like shopping for a purpose.
I get that.
Yeah. And then for dinner, probably eat at the Cheesecake Factory, because I really like the Cheesecake Factory with friends and or boyfriend if that's an option, and then like watch a movie at night or something.
It's so funny. I didn't even consider a boyfriend in this day.
I mean, mine's just like to throw that in there, just so he feels included. I'm just kidding.
My ideal perfect day starts off very similar to the two of you. I think so. I recently got into running, kind of. I'm like starting to make that a habit. So I would wake up early, go for a quick jog, and then come back. And I really like the smell of coffee, so I would make my own coffee and like some kind of breakfast. something about like being able to make breakfast and eat it really makes my day like feel so much better. So I'll do that, and then probably have plans to like do something with friends outside, and then I don't know. I feel like and then dinner with friends, like basically spend the whole day with them, and then in the evening, like hang out with them as well and like get some drinks, but then come home at a reasonable time so that I could like shower and cleanse and it's just like relax and do whatever I want before going to bed. So I come home around like 10, the latest or something. The latest, like 9 to 10 ideal, and then just like shower, lounge, and then watch TV and pass out.
I did not even consider showering in my day, I guess.
I need to shower before I sleep. Otherwise, I feel really I can feel a layer of dirt over my skin. I just I need to shower. Even if I didn't do anything at all or like leave the house, I still have to shower before sleeping.
So recently you moved last weekend, you moved back to Boston.
I did.
So yesterday you were hanging out with your friends, and I think you went for a run in the morning. So
I
was
did,
yesterday
literally,
a perfect day?
Pretty much. Yesterday was an ideal day. Yeah, like I was thinking back and I'm like, that was so great. Because yesterday I did like went for a jog. I didn't make breakfast though or have coffee, but I got coffee with my friend, and then we like walked around. There's this really beautiful cemetery like close to Harvard. No, it's beautiful, and it's like kind of like a park almost. So we walked around there, and then we got lunch, and then I was honestly pretty exhausted, but then later on at night I like got some drinks with friends. And then I came back a little bit later than in my ideal perfect day.
Got back at 2:30 a.m.
Not 4 a.m. No, I'm kidding. But it was a nice way to be back in the city.
So since we're all friends, we kind of have a juicy friend question. I don't know why I did that. So what is a quality you really like and dislike in people, like, or friend candidates, I guess? I don't know.
Friend candidates.
Oh my gosh.
I think I like someone very easygoing. Why are you laughing?
Annalise like loves planning stuff.
Oh yeah, that's why. So she can be the one that's
people.
not easy.
Okay, but you know what's really funny is that like with different friend groups, I'm not always the planner.
Oh, okay. I see.
Which is really interesting.
Yeah, you're not like gung-ho planner.
Yeah,
comes out when you need it.
I'm not like Kimmy. I'm kidding.
Okay, you know, it's because most of my friends aren't at my level, so
no one is at your level.
There's
Kimmy.
literally only like I think Annalise is similarly at my level, and then I have 2 other friends that are the same, and everyone else is just not. So when it comes to friends group, you know, I just gotta take the lead.
Oh
yeah.
Okay,
we need someone.
Yeah, that's true. Otherwise, it's gonna be like no one's gonna do anything.
Yeah,
exactly.
But okay, so I like easygoing friends, and who like can have a good time, but also can have serious conversations with. But what I don't like, what do I not like in a friend? I don't like people who. Oh, you know what? I don't like people who are very judgmental. I think that's a quality that I don't like in a friend. Is people who are like very judgmental and think that they are friend candidate. People who are judgmental and think that they're the best.
Yeah.
I've met people who are like that, and I really can't stand them.
Yeah, for me to start on what I don't like in a friend.
Oh.
I feel like people who like half the conversation is like dedicated to them and not like even one-on-one and not you. Because for me, like I'll bring stuff up, but I feel like I have to be like asked questions before I like naturally bring something up, especially with people who are new. I'm not just gonna like randomly say stuff about my life. Like I have to be prompted to do so. So yeah, that's something I don't like in a friend. A quality that I look for in a friend, I think someone who's very like loyal, not in the sense of like if a group was talking bad about me, they would like stand up for me. Like I think that is a good quality, but in the sense of like they'll be there for you, they're like listen to you well, they follow up with you.
Mm.
Yeah.
So like caring more than loyal,
Yeah.
like thoughtful.
Yeah, I guess thoughtful is a better word.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really like, similar to you, Kimmy, I think like someone who isn't, or like I really like people that are willing to, like I would know they would come to my need if I like asked them to. So if it were like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, a random, like in college especially, like, oh my gosh, things happen like late at night. It's like 11:30. It's like, oh, I need to do this, or I need really help right now. And like they're willing to like kind of drop everything and like help you. I think it's a really good quality. A bad quality is when people, okay, I don't want to just like opposite that, but yeah, when people don't do that. Or like I had this friend who at one point, I could say this because she don't think she listens, but we would make plans to hang out, and then I would always follow up with her to like confirm, and she would always cancel. Like it was just
Oh
to the point
no.
where like I just like knew in my mind like, oh, these plans that we're making are gonna fall through. Like I just know it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm sure that's annoying for everyone in like any situation, but like I mean, I'm to and also to a degree I am empathetic of people that have very busy schedules, but like if it's to the point where like I know that you're not going to follow through on these plans right as we're making it, then I'm like, that's why she's not my friend anymore.
What else like makes you not want to make any plans because you're like, oh, you're just gonna cancel?
Yeah, and it's just
Exactly.
like I mean, Kimmy's talked about that. I'm using Kimmy's language, so I feel like when you're not reciprocating that same level of emotional labor, it gets just like super frustrating over time and like resentful. So, yeah.
So the next question is, what are your favorite like animes, TV shows, or movies?
As you
Analysts, you're very smiley.
I'm smiling because as my sister has mentioned, I grew up watching a lot of TV. So it's hard for me to pick a favorite. I do watch a lot.
Yeah,
I
you did
also
make a reference earlier that neither of us got.
yeah.
It's good
Yeah.
to meet
I also very recently got into anime. Didn't
Mm.
used to watch it at all. And then recently my friend got me into it.
you.
Yeah.
Wait, is this like recently as of a month ago
Recently
or
as of
during the
literally a month
pandemic?
ago. Like I literally didn't watch it. I watched Avatar for the first time like a few months ago. And then that was it. I don't even know if that's considered anime. And then afterwards, literally last month or the start of this month is when I started to watch like Japanese anime.
Wait, Annalise, do you know what I realized? Do you think you have an addictive personality?
Oh yeah. I think I do. I think when I find something that I like, I love. Like I obsess over. Like you know this. Both of you know this. Like when I have my highs of like obsession, they're intense.
They are intense.
So I'm currently in a very intense anime high right now. It just never happened before.
Wait, so what's this anime that you love so much? For the viewers or the listeners,
Are you forcing me to say it? It's Haikyuu. I've talked about it too many times. I'm not going to talk about it anymore.
The question is, what is it? And you're just
okay,
like, I like anime.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, my favorite anime is Haikyuu. It's a volleyball one. Yeah, and I think the reason why I like it so much is because I played volleyball throughout middle school and then the first year of high school, and then I have really good friends on the boys volleyball team from high school, and I loved watching their games. So it's very like nostalgic for me to watch this.
That's cool. Okay, when you're watching it, okay, first of all, I didn't know that you literally started this a month ago. Because the way that she talks about it is like she's been watching for years.
That's my addictive personality.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She was like that with Avatar too. Like if you didn't know, you would think that she just like revitalized her love for it when it was on Netflix, but no, it's her first time.
Exactly.
Just found it.
And then second of all, just watching, because I've heard from other people like after you watch a lot of anime, you become interested in learning Japanese. Is that happened to you, or
I
you're
can
just
see
like,
it. No, I definitely see it. They're like Yeah, no, I see it. I don't know if I would go so far as saying like I'm interested in learning the like Japanese as like an entire language, but they're like now and then like random Japanese words from anime pop into my head.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. What about you two?
I feel like I don't love watching TV. I'm the type that will just like watch the same thing over and over again. So one of my two go-tos are
Pride and
Friends.
Prejudice. Oh,
Or this movie. Oh, I'm saying TV.
okay.
Oh, my
That's fine.
two. Oh yeah, my two favorite shows are Friends and Law and Order because SVU.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember
I
Law and Order was a
love-
big
Didn't know that.
one.
Yeah, I love like true crime stuff. So
About that.
Oh, true.
How are you feeling about the Friends reunion?
I'm not invested, but I'll watch
Okay.
it probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm in the same boat. Not as invested as like I see other people who are like extremely excited. Like my sister, I think is one of them. She keeps sending me stuff, and I'm like, oh, cool. I
Yeah,
saw
my
it
sister
already.
keeps sending me stuff too, and I'm just like, oh, nice.
Yeah.
Similar to Brett, I don't really watch. Okay, I do watch TV, but like when I feel like I'm similarly addictive, like Annalise. I don't know. Okay, if I watch something on Netflix, like I literally have to watch the whole thing in a week, which is why I can't watch Netflix regularly because I legitimately will binge
Okay.
it. So watching like normal TV shows on cable is what's best for me because then I'm paced. But a few years back, I watched How I Met Your Mother, and I really, really liked it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's my favorite show.
Interesting.
And then favorite movie, I don't really watch really a lot of TV shows or movies, so I literally can't
Me
remember the
neither.
title of this movie. But it's a movie with Anne Hathaway. It's on Netflix, and it's like a romance.
That's like all her
No,
movies.
I know that was
Okay,
not
let me
helpful at all.
continue.
Oh,
With her and her
yeah.
best friend not working out, but then they work out in the long run.
Is it like Bride Wars or
I know.
something?
Is it? I'm thinking that one
No,
too.
it's an older movie.
Princess
Princess
Diaries.
Diaries.
That's one of my favorite movies. Princess Diaries. I love it.
It's one word. I literally can't remember the name.
Is
but
this your
yeah.
favorite movie then? If you literally
It
can't remember the
is.
title. So I get like kind of self-conscious because I feel like I can't engage with a lot of people like in pop culture because I don't watch that much movie or that much
Yeah,
TV.
same.
But so I remember eating lunch with like this random person and he was a film major and I was like, oh my gosh, like
Oh
are you
no.
gonna judge me on like my thing? Because I low-key do that with like people in books, not to make
Oh.
anyone feel self-conscious. But I was like, oh, I really don't watch movies. Like I only really watch TV, and then the only TV I do watch is like Law and Order. And he had never heard of it, even though he was like my
Oh.
age. He's like, oh my god, like I want to watch this. Is this good? Like, and I'm like, you don't understand. Like I didn't know how to explain it. I'd be like, no, this is just like average television. He's like, oh my god, like I'm gonna take your recommendation to heart. I'm so excited to watch this.
Oh my
And I'm
gosh.
That stresses me out when people are like,
I know.
whenever I recommend something, like I mention it, and then the other person gets really excited. I'm like, shoot, I overhyped it, and I'm like, no, it's not that good. It's not that good. It's not that good.
Yeah. Oh my god, Annalise does that all the time, where she'll really
Yeah.
hype it too.
It's because of my addictive, obsessive personality. I'm so in love with something that I hype it up so much because I'm just so in love with it, and then I realize like other people probably don't feel the same way I do, so I have to like downplay it after I've already hyped it up. I'm working on it.
Hey, what your favorite movie was, Annalise?
Princess Diaries is one of them. I think that's like I don't know what else I would say.
Oh, yeah. I like Pride and Prejudice, like I've said before. I also really like this. I know it makes me sound like pretentious, but it's this French movie called Amelie. I just really like the feel it makes. I watched it when I was like younger, and so like I like the feeling it makes me have when I watch it again.
I remember the name of my movie. It's actually 2 words. It's called One Day.
That's your favorite movie?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm glad you watched it.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's like
Is that the one where she dies?
It makes you
And
feel something.
Spoiler alert.
I know, and she doesn't die. So non-spoiler
there's another one
alert.
where
Wait, she does die. That one. She like gets hit by a bus.
That's
We
what
can
I'm
cut this
thinking of.
part.
Oh yeah, I thought it was him. You're right, it is her.
Yeah,
Is this your favorite movie? You don't even know the
doesn't
name.
know the name, doesn't know the plot. It's not even her
It's one
best
that I
friend. It's
could
like
go
her
back to.
lover, right? Like
It's her friend
really?
in the beginning, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We
Don't
just totally like trash her favorite movie. She's just
It's
like,
okay. I mean, I'm not that attached
like
to
it's just funny because
movies.
I've never heard you talk about it.
Well, when would I bring it up? Oh yeah, I was riding my bike and I almost got hit by a bus. Oh, like in one day, like.
I don't
which
know.
by the way
I've
is my
heard
favorite.
Annalise talk about
Princess Diaries. I've heard
Princess
Brie talk about Prime
Diaries.
Prejudice a lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
we've all
Okay.
heard her talk about it.
But I'm not like a huge, movie
That's true.
person.
That's true. You're not a very
That's
big
true.
pop culture person.
So like maybe I'll watch it every 2 years, every 3 years.
That's a
honestly.
lot to not know
But
the
that's
name and
like
plot.
I don't watch movies more than once outside of me being a kid and watching like movies.
Annalise is like, wow, it's gonna be fun to edit.
All right. Well,
Okay.
we've learned that Kimmy lies about her favorite movies. What's the next question?
Oh my gosh. Moving into more serious-ish questions. These ones are podcast related. So if you could have anyone be a guest on your podcast, who would it be?
Alive or
Or
dead?
dead,
Or alive?
either
Or
way.
dead. Oh, or fictional? No. Are we sticking
I
to
mean,
real people?
sure, are you gonna pick a haiku character?
No, that's no.
I would have our great former president Rutherford B. Hayes. I'm just kidding. But I feel like I have to flex about like what I would want to talk about.
Wait.
Any guest?
Kimmy, do you have one?
Yeah, so for me, I feel like this person would still have
A
to be like in
TikToker
reach.
who does finance stuff.
No.
Oh,
Okay.
I wouldn't want to have anyone dead, really. I mean,
Well,
I
they would
think
be
that would be
alive
cool.
when we talk to them.
it's
And
just
then
like their
after-
body.
what the heck? So I guess for me, I would have on Nadia Okamoto, who's our age or my age, and she's graduating from Harvard, I think, this year. But she started an organization called Period, based out of Portland, Oregon, while she was in high school. And it's all about like educating basically everyone, like boys and girls included, about periods and really like taking away the stigma about talking about periods and like especially educating boys on them and talking about sex ed and stuff. So since she hasn't graduated yet, but more recently she started a company called August, which is like a period content company. So a lot of like their Instagram and their websites is just like them talking about like menstrual health, which I think is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So to have someone come on that's our age and like talk about her movement, I think would be pretty awesome.
Oh, that's cool. I've never heard of her before, so that'd be really cool to have her on. I would say for me, as much as I would love to like just have one of my really good friends or like all of us on, I don't think that'd be that entertaining for like most people, just because like it'd be too chaotic. But I think that'd be fun. But also I really would love to have Jen Im, the YouTuber.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I just grew up watching her and I just think it's amazing how her content has shifted to what it is today. As someone who like thinks that mental health and like the topics she covers should be covered like in a vulnerable way, like she puts it out there, I think it'd be really cool to have her on.
I totally agree.
Mm.
I think a really cool thing about Jen as well is like she's been on YouTube for probably 10 plus years now. Maybe less, but
Yeah.
I feel like over time YouTubers get burnt out or like they take a long break or they just, start to become like very materialistic.
Mhm.
And I feel like she's really, like you're right, like addressed more things and become more vulnerable over time, which
Mm-hmm.
is kind of like opposite of what a lot of YouTubers do.
Yeah.
So I really like her content. And recently she posted this video, which I sent both of you to, of like her wearing these Crocs. And I was like,
Oh
oh
yeah.
my gosh, you influenced me to buy these Crocs because they look so nice.
Oh my gosh.
They're really nice.
Did you buy them?
Not yet. I'm waiting for a Memorial Day sale.
Nice. Mine would be Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. She wrote "We Should All Be Feminists," and she also wrote like another book, or it's not a book. It's like a very short, I guess, essay. It was like a letter to a friend, and it's like, basically like helping her friend asked her like, how do I raise my daughter to be a feminist? And so she kind of like
Oh,
wrote an email back and turned that into like something that you could read and buy. So I would have her on to just like talk about, just to like hear her thoughts and just to have her speak. I think would be really cool.
Yeah.
wow. I want to read that. That
You
sounds
should. It's really.
interesting.
It's like the email, like the email itself is really short, so you could probably finish it in like
Yeah.
half a day less. But
Mm-hmm.
you should also read "We Should All Be Feminists." It's a good one too. It's also a TED Talk.
Oh my gosh. So many different mediums to
Mm-hmm.
consume it.
So, what have you learned about each other through our podcasting journey or your podcasting journey?
So I guess like I don't know, maybe this is a cop-out answer, but this is the first time that we've all like worked together. At least like I like even never did group projects with the two of you or anything to that extent.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I just like learned how to work with both of you. Okay, maybe that's a bad answer.
No, I think that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, we're
But
not
it's
gonna
not like
have anything
any of
else.
it's not like anything was difficult, but I feel like I think what was actually unique about this situation is in all of like my friendship work experiences, we've always like been coworkers, club members, whatever first, and then we've become friends. But this was the first time where we were friends first and then we started to work together.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that was also interesting to like observe how both relationships could operate at the same time.
I think for me, I always just saw like Kimmy and Annalise as way better workers than I am. And I think that definitely played out. Like they're just more on top of things than I am in general. But also like not to think that okay, wait. But also I think I've just learned like, oh, how understanding they are of like, oh, when I don't answer for 2 days or something, or I don't get anything out for a little bit. And so I think that just like helped reaffirm that, oh, my friends are like my friends before this working relationship, I guess, that we had now. Yeah, they definitely like care about me more so than like the content. So I think that's just like, wow, my friends are great. Not that I didn't think that before, but it's just like, yeah, you know, you think that like working would put more of a strain on the relationship. I don't think that's really the case.
I agree.
Speaking of content, thank you for the segue. I think something that I've learned. This is, I guess, kind of a cop out answer too, but we've gone through so many different topics and episodes, and I feel like I thought we were really good friends to begin with, and like I knew a lot about you, but I think like we've asked each other questions that really dove deeper into like our upbringing and our identities that I think are things that I don't even think would come up in a regular conversation with friends. So in that sense, like I've learned a lot about the two of you more, that I don't think that there's anyone that I know as well as you two now. And the same thing, like I don't think there's anyone who knows me as well as you two. I guess our listeners, but but it you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Speaking of number of different episodes, which episode is your favorite that we've done?
I would have to say my favorite is the episode we did with Verinda, the founder of Sequin. I just think like we just covered so many other topics other than credit, but then like in general, there are a lot of things, if I didn't know anything about credit, that I could have learned from that episode.
Mhm.
And I just love Brenda overall. She's just like a
Mm.
positive, radiant human being. So
She's super
Yeah.
great.
episode 12. Yeah.
I kind of have I have two. Is that okay? I'm gonna go with it.
That's
Okay,
not
so
okay.
my favorite episode from season 1 is episode 5 with Romanshi, which is one
Mm.
of our friends, where we talked about feminism.
Mm.
Because it's something that I had never discussed with her, and I really liked her perspective from growing up in India or growing up in Singapore and attending school in the UK and then going back home to India.
Mhm.
And then in this season, season 2, I also enjoyed recording the episode with We Got Us, which is episode
Mm.
14.
Mhm.
Because I feel like they were just so passionate about the mission, and what they were doing is super altruistic. And I just learned a lot about medical racism, and about COVID and how that's impacting their community.
Mhm.
So I really enjoyed talking to them.
Yeah, that was like one of my favorites too. I was thinking. I think my favorite one is actually one where we talked about, my favorite episode is episode 5, which is actually so I think, Kimmy, you were talking about episode 6, which is the one with Ramonji, where we talk about
Oh, okay.
feminism, and episode 5 is the one where we talk about Asian American identity. And I think, like I mentioned earlier, I think it was just one of those episodes where we got to ask each other questions that we would not usually ask, and I think we learned a lot about like our identity and our upbringing. And I love talking about my background and like my family and like where I come from and all of that. So
Yeah.
it was just, I enjoyed that episode a lot.
So moving away from podcast related stuff and just like general introspective questions, on the topic of identities and like learning about ourselves, what ways do you think we're all similar, and in what ways are we all different? And maybe what's a quality we wish what's a quality of one another that we wish we had?
So, in ways that I think we're all similar, I think we're all good listeners. Like, I mean, I guess that helps hosting a podcast together. You kind of have to be. And then in ways that we're different, I feel like, I don't know, maybe this is cop out, but personality. Like, I feel like Britt is chill.
Huh.
Annalise is maybe, okay, Annalise flip flops, but Annalise is like in between.
I'm
Yeah.
And I'm like at the end, like energy wise.
It's literally like a scale.
Yeah.
Are you a Kimmy, Annalise, or Brittany?
But Annalise swings. Like Annalise can be like,
Yeah,
Exactly.
Annalise can
I'm
be super like I will spend hours micromanaging this one file in her thing, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
and then I guess a quality of each other or of you two that I wish I had. For Britt, I feel like Britt's a very, very empathetic person. So that's something that I admire in her, that I feel like
Brittany, you look
anyone.
like you're doubting her answer.
Oh, I was just gonna no.
Oh, okay.
Part, yeah.
Okay. I feel like anyone would be happy to have. And for Annalise, I feel like Annalise is very fun all the time. And I like,
Oh.
so I also,
Ooh.
like, I feel like
Ooh.
any small, like something so mundane, let's say it's like putting away, okay, I don't know if this is true. It's like putting away the dishes. I feel like Annalise just does it with so much joy.
I see
I actually
that.
really do like washing my dishes.
Yeah, I mean, when it is cleaning related, she like loves it.
Yeah. I think, okay, how do I think we're similar? I think we're similar in that I think we care a lot about like our friends, but also ourselves. Like I think the three of us try hard to balance that, and like we acknowledge like times when we need to take time for ourselves, but we also care a lot about our friends. I think that's something that we all have in common. And something that's different is I think we're I think in ways that we're different is I think Kimmy is very like career driven. Like you're extremely focused on careers. Like you do a lot of research into like the jobs that you apply to, and it's like a very structured and organized system. And like that when you want to get something or like buy something, you're like very calculated in what you do. Brittany, I feel like you're very much more like easygoing. And like you kind of take things as they are, and like you're one to like I said, very easygoing. And I think I'm just like in the middle.
Yeah, you
Another
are kind of in the
Yeah,
middle.
what is it? Do I have a personality or
just a mix of both of us?
What's
Equality.
equality?
Oh, and then equality of each other. That I think similarly to like the way that I think that we're different are qualities that I wish I had. Like with Kimmy, I feel like I wish that I were more ambitious. And then with Brittany, I wish that I were more like easygoing when it came to like some like certain topics and stuff, certain issues.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I want to be more of a middle person.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I feel like kind of similar to both your answers. I think we're all similar in that we're all of us we're very motivated to grow as people in general. Like we're all very introspective, and we try to like work on ourselves a lot, and kind of I feel like our chat, or like we always talk about like new ways of like how we're trying to help ourselves.
It's true.
And ways we're different, I really can't say anything that hasn't been said already. It's just more like our working styles and like type A-ness, or I don't know if that's
level
the right
of type
term.
A.
Yeah, just like our level of motivation to like do work all the time is probably the most different. Our quality that I wish I had from each of you, yeah, honestly, kind of really similar to Annalise's answer. Kimmy, I wish I had your ambition and drive to work hard and just give 100%, 110% in like every single job I have. And then for Annalise, I don't know. I feel like Annalise just has a better picture of like how she wants to be happy, and is like very intentional about like how she does it. Like I don't know how to describe it.
Like when I do my dishes.
Yeah, like you just like like Kimmy literally said, you just find like joy in doing things a lot easier than I think most people do. And like you just get like your addictive personality. You get really excited about like a lot of things. And yeah, I felt like you living your life in Boston with your friends and stuff, like you wanted that, and then like you got it fairly quickly out of college. And so yeah, just like your ability to kind of apply things in your life so you get what you want, like not in like a like I don't know what the word is, like a manipulative way, but like I was gonna say like people that just like, you know, like those hustler people that just like don't care about what happens, they just want what they want. It's like not like that. It's more so you just knew what you wanted, and then you were able to achieve that because you like, I don't know, were able to positively think about it, manifest it in your life.
So we're about halfway through 2021. I can't believe it. Oh my goodness. What are some of the goals for
Lord
the rest of
almighty.
the year? The rest of the year.
You know, I really don't know. I just have like, you know, if anything is just 1% better than it is right now in a few months, That is my goal. Just to like have the slightest bit of control of what I'm knowing, or knowing what I'm gonna do, or knowing my next plan in life. So that's my goal. Like just a little, just like one decision, make it a little easier for me. Um yeah, that's adulting for you. That's adulthood pending.
Wait, that's actually so interesting because like
Very
I was even
chaotic.
thinking about like big. I was thinking like tangible things because like the first thing that came
Okay.
to mind is like not in this coming year, but I something that I've kind of put on my list of like things I want to do is like to run a half marathon.
Oh,
And so like
Exciting.
obviously, yeah,
Oh.
I say that because I'm like so out of shape that it's like kind of a pain right now
your
to run.
addictive personality will pull you through it.
Oh
Don't
yeah,
worry.
it's already
You're like, oh
shining
my
through right
god,
now.
running.
You should try it. It's really good endorphins. But I think like yeah, like not anytime this year because I'm just definitely still getting into running and like getting into shape. But maybe next year. It's on my list. That's a goal, just like a tangible goal.
I guess one of my goals for the rest of the year, a recent episode 16, was on money and like money management. And as I'm preparing to leave the nest in the fall,
Oh,
I've been thinking more about
chirp
like,
chirp.
yeah, I've been thinking more about, my budget and all of that stuff. And as we mentioned in that episode, I feel like it's hard, at least like for Britt and I right now, because we're like in this in between time to really have a good grasp on your money.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping by the end of the year, once things are more normalized, I'll be able to have that. Because that just would make me feel more secure.
Mm-hmm. So to recap, Kimmy wants to have a better grasp on money. Annalise wants to run a half marathon. I just want to have
You just want to
some
make
order.
one decision in your life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that sounds
That's
about
usually
right.
yeah, that's very indicative of our personalities.
So moving on to our last section, advice. We used to do something called like adulting advice where we kind of give advice after each episode. So I guess we're gonna bring that back for this episode, a Q&A. But we did get two questions that were pretty similar, so we're gonna combine them. The first one was, what is an advice you have for graduating university students entering the real world? And the other one was, if you could give yourself advice to your past selves, what would it be? Make decisions. I'm kidding.
Yeah, this question coming after my like meltdown.
I think I might have mentioned this in like one of our earlier episodes or our adulthood episode, but one thing that I think one advice I would give graduating university students is that everyone's path is very different. Like don't believe everything that you see on social media. Like even the people who are thriving, like sure they may be thrive, like let them thrive, like that's their own thing, but that's not the true for everyone. And so don't only compare yourselves to the things that you see online and social media, but also know that everyone's path is different, not even just out of university, but just like in life. And so try, you can compare yourself if you want to like see what things that you like, but if something that you're doing isn't the same as what others are doing and you're thinking that that's something that you want, I don't know what I'm saying, but basically everyone's path is different and I think it's okay to not know what you want to do when you come out of college. Yeah, I think it's totally fine. Not everyone does, and it's not the end of the world if you don't have like a full plan for afterwards, because not everyone does. Yeah, and I guess that's like kind of similar to an advice that I would give my past self is like to not stress so much over little things, which I know is like I feel like everyone gives that advice. But yeah, and maybe like don't settle either. Like I think part of me was like I was so eager to get a job like right out of college that I like my company now, but I also think like there are other situations just in life in general where I could have not settled and that I shouldn't have. But that's also kind of my personality. I just kind of settle. I'm an easygoing gal.
Easygoing, addictive personality, settler.
That's me.
Seem contradictory, but
I
know.
That's Annalise.
What else is new? I'm a little bit of everything.
I second everything that Annalise said, advice-wise. So I guess something that's a little bit different is like once you graduate, especially now for the students that are graduating this year, which is almost, post-pandemic, I feel like would be a really great idea just to like take advantage of this time when you aren't working or you aren't heading back to school, if you are. Yeah, just like doing small things like being able to get together with friends during working hours or like going shopping when it's not busy. Things like that I feel like you can easily take for granted as a student. You're like, oh, okay, during lunch I can go do this or do that. When you're working, it's so much harder to do anything. And then advice that I would give my past self, I feel like would be okay, you know how people have the quote like, oh, everything happens for a reason, which a lot of people say, but I feel like it's hard to believe that until something does happen and then you look back on it like through hindsight and you're like, oh yeah, that's why that happened. So I feel like it's more like have comfort in knowing that things are going to work out in the long run, which people say, but it's really hard to know. But I feel like if you believe it and work hard to like make changes that can enable things to work out in the long run, then it can.
Yeah, I feel like kind of like a mix of your two advice. I really think it's easy to kind of wish for things to be like in the past and like wish for like, oh, when things are easier, blah blah blah. Like 2 years ago when I was still in college and my biggest thing was my exam, but like I'm sure in that moment 2 years ago you're also very stressed and very like wish things were maybe like 5 years ago when you were in high school and things seemed easier. So like I think it's really easy to fall in that trap of, oh, this moment is like the worst moment that I could possibly be. But just remember that, when you were in those past moments that you're wishing for, I'm sure you also had your own struggles. So yeah, just kind of be in the moment and try to learn from your experiences. And I know that's way easier said than done, but I think that's kind of the only way to go about this weird time in your life, because your formative years are within such a like short window. It's easy to kind of wish for like times in the past that you could easily remember. It's not like when you were like 18 and you wish you were like 7, because you don't remember that. It was like, oh, I'm 18 and I wish maybe things were easier like it was when I was like 16, but that wasn't always necessarily the case. And advice to my past self would be I don't know, just like take it easy on yourself. I think it's, a lot easier to beat yourself up than to realize like your accomplishments. So just kind of me, the most easygoing, just take it easy on yourself. And go to therapy if you so need so. Yes.
That wraps up our episode on season 2, our very last episode of this season. Thank you all so much for submitting questions, and thank you all who have been with us since day 1, episode 1, episode 0, the trailer. And for those of you who joined us this season, season 2, we've really enjoyed interacting with you on Instagram and just getting to know you all a little bit better. And we hope you've gotten to know us better, as well as things that we really care about through the guests that we've brought on in our podcast. If you haven't yet, you can follow us on Instagram at adulthoodpendingpodcast, and you can leave us a review if you really enjoyed this season. We are going to start season 3 at the end of the summer, beginning of fall. We're still kind of deciding, but we'll definitely keep you all posted on our social medias on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Our Twitter handle is at adultpendingpod. and everything else is at Adulthood Pending Podcast. So we're excited to continue to share our stories in season 3, and thank you for being with us on our adulthood journey.
Bye.
Thanks, bye.
Thank you.